Portugal, this is Nils Patrik Johansson. Check out my new album, War and Peace.
Slave, slave, get out of your cave and fight for the king of the north. But no one was brave until
Hi Niels, thank you so much for being here. It's an absolute honor to talk to you. War and Peace is your brand new solo album, but we released on the 10th of October. What can you reveal to your fans about it?
Well, I've released 2 singles already, and a new one will come in 2 weeks. So it's real. It's what people can expect from Nils Patrik Johansson. It's the music I like. It's big, epic, heavy metal, and I think. What can I say? It's all the songs are pretty long, so it's only 8 songs on the album. But I grew up with Iron Maiden, so I like long, epic songs. So it's a real true Nils Patrik album. So I love the album. I think it's Evil Deluxe is fantastic album, and also The Great Conspiracy. But I think this is more epic. It's larger, So I hope my friends and followers are going to like it.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. It's a fantastic album. I really enjoy it. Like I was telling you before, it's really epic. It's just like those, like you were saying, those 8 tracks. They are long tracks. They are very well developed. They all have a little twist in the middle, which is great. I mean, you have reason to be happy.
Yeah, I am very happy, and so now we just see what the fans. I think I know that my true followers, they will love the album.
Yeah. I'm sure they will. And there are a lot of stories being told here, from the German invasion of the Soviet Union in Barbarossa to shots in Sarajevo about the beginning of the First World War. What motivated you to write about these stories?
I think it's interesting. As I said in other interviews, history is that's my biggest interest, beside of heavy metal and hard rock and music. But history has always been in school pretty much the only subject I was good and had good grades in was history. I had the highest. And obviously that's because I was interested in history. Things that you are interested in, then you learn. So I know nothing about cars, for example, because I'm not interested. A car is just meant to drive. I don't like to, So things you're interested in, and then you become good at.
Yeah.
I think, hopefully.
yeah, for sure. But you've been doing this for some time now, also in Civil War, also writing about history topics, and now in your solo career as well. Why did these stories inspire you this time? Was there some special thing that inspired you this time?
No, but I mean, the title, for example, is of course based on the classic novel by Tolstoy, and but I thought it was a very suitable title for the album. If you look how the world looks today, it's more insane than ever. So it was a good title: War and Peace. Hopefully, we will get peace, but I doubt it. It will never happen, of course, because it just goes on and on and on and on. But what inspires me to write about, I don't know. It's what comes to my mind when I sit down and I get an idea. I will always start, with the music, and then I come up with the vocal lines, and I sing, a demo with blah 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 lyrics, and then I feel how the song, okay, what can fit this music, and then it just happens. I can't explain. It's it's not calculated that it just comes.
Yeah, and you were talking about the classic by Leo Tolstoy. The first time I actually looked at the album, I thought, oh, this is a classic conceptual album about the book. But then it wasn't, and there are so many stories left to discover here and there, also through the songs. That's actually one of the things I most enjoy about the album, because you see, like, for example, in Barbarossa, I think you can hear during the song a little bit of a traditional Russian folklore tune, or in Hungarian dance a little bit of neoclassical traits. Was this you're doing?
Yeah, I think it's fun. It's just because of that. I think it's fun. In Evil Deluxe, I have the entire Hava Nagila as solo part, and if you know the Jewish folk song, and it's by far my most played song at Spotify. It's got 10 times more than my other songs, and that's probably because it's some kind of anthem for Jewish people, perhaps. And but I just did it for fun because I think it's a good melody, and I learned to play it, and then what the hell, I can make a solo part of the entire song, and so I did it just for the fun of it. And it's the same with Kalinka and on the Hungarian dance. Yeah, and also we have in Gustav Hasa, I have big parts of the Swedish national anthem. It's just fun. Yeah,
and also on the end of Left Behind. You
Stay
have
Behind.
Stay Behind. Yeah, you have the American anthem as well.
Yeah, because Stay Behind was an underground army that was started by NATO after the Second World War, in case Soviet Union would attack Europe. So we had an underground. We had it in Sweden. I'm pretty sure you had it as well, and in Italy, and more or less the entire Western Europe had this to be prepared if the Russians came. And this song was actually, I wrote it 6 years ago because it was supposed to be a part of my Olof Palme album, The Great Conspiracy, because many experts think that Stay Behind was involved with the assassination of Olof Palme. But I couldn't get it ready in time because we wanted to release The Great Conspiracy on Olof Palme's death day, 28th of February 2020. But I couldn't get it ready in time. So I said, okay, it will be on this album instead.
Yeah, and this is also your...
And also, of course, it was controlled by America. That's why I had the American anthem in there.
Yeah, I figured it had something to do with I didn't know the story actually, but I figured it had something to do with American troops, or with America somewhere in the world. How was your composition process to this album? You already said that you also first get the melodies, and how was your composition process to it?
Yeah, I wrote all the riffs and in my home studio and put drums on, and bass and keyboard and So and then I sent it to my friend from Lion's Share, Lars Chris. So he helped out with the arrangements and the production. So it's because my demos, they are not very well played. I just record it so you can hear it's a song. But then I hire, of course, world-class musicians to record it properly. So, and then we worked together, and I sent him my demos, and he did a great work, I think, with the arrangements. And yeah, it has taken some time, I can tell you, but on the other hand, it was no rush for me because my solo albums, they are just for fun. I just do it because I can, and for my fans, of course, especially the Civil War fans, because they don't make albums anymore, it seems. So the Civil War fans can listen to my albums, and they get about the same style.
Yeah, that's for sure. You are sounding this album is sounding a lot like your work with Civil War. And by the way, Civil War are currently looking for a new singer. Can we expect
I saw that.
a return?
No, absolutely not. It's a finished chapter, but they can get a good one, I'm pretty sure. But I will never return. And they will never ask. They will never ask. I can guarantee you that, because I left the band in a pretty abrupt way. So I think they are still not pissed, but they will never ask me again. And I will never ask them either. So, but it was a group. I don't know how many years I was in the band. We formed it together, me and the Sabaton, guys, and it was really fun. I think 5 years perhaps we had the band, and we released three full-length albums and 1 EP. So, and now since I left, they have released 1 CD in 8 years. So, but I hope they can manage to get something together and make a good album, because Petrus, the guitar player, is a great songwriter. That's why I brought him into the band. And Petrus, of course, he's one of my son's best friends. I don't say that I never would return. Never say never, of course. I think, as I feel now, it's a finished chapter for me.
Yeah, and it's totally understandable.
As I said, we'll see what happens. You never know in this business.
Yeah, exactly. Again, we are constantly getting off the topic of the album, which is also good. It's mostly a conversation. But getting back to War and Peace, Gustav Vasa was one of the singles, and it is the perfect opener for the album. How did that song come about?
Well, many people think he was like the founder of the land Sweden. Of course, he wasn't, but because we have been a country for many years before he became the king. But he somehow brought law and order to Sweden. So, and also he kicked out the Danes. The Danes and the Swedes have been fighting. Gustav Vasa, I was to visit his grave in Uppsala, and I posted a picture of me standing by his grave, and not all, but some fans wrote immediately, "Wow, he's going to make a concept album about Gustav Vasa, yeah!" And I said, no, I will never make it. I can make 1 song, but that's enough. So I kept my promise and wrote this song about Gustav Vasa.
Yeah, and then the album ends with 2 shots in Sarajevo. That is different from the rest of the album. I think it's much groovier than the rest of the album. What inspired you to do that?
I don't know. It just happened again. I like the old like you have like Motorhead. They have some kinds of song in that style. So I think it's like, and also Michael Schenker, a bit more heavy boogie, pop, 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 pop. And I think it's cool. I love that style. So I think it came out pretty good.
Yeah, and it almost sounds like a joke sometimes. I haven't really listened very closely to the lyrics, but the song in itself sometimes also sounds a little bit like a joke. Was that intended? Do you feel the same way?
No, it's just I like just to have variation, variety in the songs, and I like fast songs. I like
Yeah.
You know, some ballads like "Stay Behind" is half a little bit of a ballad, and so I just like variation and variety. So, and also I like that heavy boogie. And so it's not a joke, of course not, because it's about a serious where the
Obviously, yeah.
arch was shot and was crazy. The black, what they call the Black Hand. It was like an underground protest. They didn't understand what they were going to bring out, all the hell breaking loose. Well, so it's a strange story, and so the lyrics is not a joke. The song is a little bit. It's a little bit sounds a little bit happy. You know, it's like a heavy blues boogie woogie song with like a power metal chorus, if you say it like that.
Yeah, that's exactly how it feels, and it's boosted also thanks to your wonderful voice. Did you try any new technique in this album, or no? Just your.
No, no, absolutely not. It's the same as I record all my vocals in my home studio. Uh, so it takes a lot of time because if you do it in another studio with a producer, you do one take, and then he can say, "Well, that's great, Patrick." But if I am my own producer, I'm much more, I take retake after retake after retake until it's perfect. So of course it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, yeah, and no, it really sounds very well. You're in the peak form of your voice, I think, right now.
Yeah.
And is there? You have a very unique voice, of course. Is there any secret behind it?
No, I don't think so. Just, of course, you need to have talent.
Of course.
Like you have it. I have been singing since I was like 1 year old or something. So it's in my blood. But of course, you need to practice as hell to take those high pitched notes that I take. I mean, you can sing. Of course, you can sing like falsetto. Then you can sing how high you want. But with the sing it with your stomach voice, then I take, I think the highest on this album is with real is probably the high E. That's very extremely high, almost impossible to sing without doing it in high pitch. So it's my pitch is probably better than ever. It's crazy. I mean, I'm 57 years old, so it's really crazy.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I have a great daytime job where I go around and have music, with dysfunctional youth, kids and grown-ups. So I sing like 4 or 5 hours every day in my daytime job. So that has been a great. I have to keep my voice in shape because that's my job.
Yeah, and it also helps keep the voice in shape. The fact that you are singing so much every day,
Yeah.
Also practice also helps.
Yeah, of course. And it's the same as an athlete, like a marathon runner. He must run like 30 kilometers every day. Otherwise, he feels bad. It's the same with me. I must sing every day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't feel. I don't feel good. It's a part of my. Yeah, it's like a
It's
drug.
in your blood. Yeah. And besides Lars Chris, you also have some guests on this album, namely Tommy Denander that plays trumpets on the Prodigal Son on the beginning and the end. How did that come to your mind?
Yeah, it's Lars Chris' best friend, and we really got stuck. We couldn't come up with a good intro to Prodigal Son. So Lars said, "Well, we asked Tommy." So Tommy fixed it. So I'm not sure if he really plays the trumpet. It's probably keyboard, but what the hell? I wrote
No need to
trumpet.
know.
It looked cool. So, but so Tommy Lenander is only like 10 seconds on the album. Otherwise, it's Lars Chris and his fiancée actually plays the keyboard, and my son plays the drums. So it's like a family album.
Yeah, it's a family business at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're probably not thinking of planning of taking this album on tour, right?
I don't. I think it's just we're gonna release a new Lions Share album, our comeback album in March, and I will go out and tour with that. That's for sure. But I will not bring this out on tour unless I get the right offer, of course. I mean, if Wacken calls me or Sweden Rock, obviously I would put together a live band and we're gonna go out and kick some ass. And of course it would be super fun because imagine what a set list I can have. I can have my own songs, Astral Doors, Civil War, Lions Share, Wuthering Heights, Space Odyssey. So it would be a killer gig. So perhaps I will do it. We'll see.
Yeah, if you decide to do it, and if the chance comes, don't forget Portugal, because it would be great to have you here to see our show and to talk to you personally as well.
Obviously, that would be fun. Absolutely, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's tough now. It's much tougher these days than before the corona. The market haven't fully recovered. Absolutely not. I don't think so. I hope it will. I hope it will. That's for sure. Actually, I'm talking to a guy now, and we are talking about starting a new festival here in my hometown, with me as like somehow the festival general or something, and a metal festival, of course.
Of course, yeah. So then Nils Patrik Johansson could be the headlining.
Then I could bring my solo to that festival, to my own festival. Absolutely.
Yeah. Nils, I think that's it. Thank you so much. It was an honor to have you here. Would you like to send any message to your Portuguese fans?
Rock on.